this was a gate that was always freaking locked, so I definitely want to look here first. I mean, look at those stairs. Holy frick. Like they're made out of gold and marble or something. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms. Which means I have to do it. Let's go. Holy shit. This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield. Like a bomb blew up here or something. Definitely something with the tragedy. Huh. It's kind of funny that even though there's like a huge gap in the wall, we can't see anything beyond it. Okay, look at how huge this place is. Other dorm rooms as well. Holy shit. There's one still open. Or intact at least. Dang, even here shit is fucked up. And the bed is completely torn apart, like the rest of the room. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore. It's just garbage. Garbage with a coin in it. Anything else? Secret bathroom. I opened the door just a crack, glanced inside, and immediately closed it again. There wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. Nothing else here? Apparently so. Leave. Huh. So that's the only bedroom that we just explored, and then we'll just go up straight ahead here. 2 bathrooms. Let's check those out. This is the female one. The girl's bathroom. Even in a place like this, I can't bring... Really, Makoto? Just fucking go in. Nobody's gonna judge you. Alright, the guy's bathroom. Nothing? Really nothing? Except... Look at how fancy everything here looks, though. Like, this part of the dorms looks so much more fancier. Like, if it wasn't just, you know, torn and a rubble and just broken down in general, this is probably what sort of the rest of the entire floor would have looked like. Like, look at the freaking doors. It looks like, you know, the rich part of the school or something. Then there's this room. What the fuck is that? A giraffe coming out of a locker? Is it coming out of the closet? Giraffe? Holy shit. This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. But look at those bolted on thingies, you know, that's all over the metal sheets or whatever you want to call it. That's all over the windows and covering everything that sort of, you know, could give us a vision of the outside world. I wonder if I can open this locker. Dang it, it's locked. Nope, it's locked. But there's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the second floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... Wrong. No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it, unless it belonged to Makuro. Because the thing is, like, Makuro was here. She was part of the 16 students, but for some reason we never saw her. That must mean that she was in a place that we didn't have access to, so it could make sense that Makuro was just living in here, I guess. Alright, well, this locker room didn't have much except a bunch of closed lockers that we had no access to with our own card reader. So, I'm not sure if we should let other people try it with their card readers and if it's not gonna have any different result or whatever, but for us, there wasn't anything else, so yeah. Let's get out of here. There are 2 more doors on, or rooms on this side. Holy crap, see, look at this. The luxury, holy shit! This room doesn't really feel like a student room. It has more of an adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Hey, Kyoko!
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh? A regret? What might that regret be? First, let's look. This? That looks like a secret door. Huh? There's a strange gap in the wall. Is it some kind of design mistake? Or a construction defect or something? Nope.
So...
There's a gap here. But not just any gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. The outside world! A breeze?
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean... You mean, like, a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy. I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password, and the door should open right up.
However...
But I don't have a clue what the password might be. Open sesame? All we know is that it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right. That's not nearly enough to go on.
It's true.
I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this. Anything else? 3 things here. The desk. The desk is a home to a computer. It must have belonged to the headmaster. Right, there's a piece of paper on there. The that's not the piece of paper. A leather chair. I can't imagine a student using something like this. It must have been the headmaster's. Right, another computer. There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair.
However...
There's not much though. Nothing we don't already know.
In other words...
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. The group, or that group, is responsible for the tragedy, which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people, whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
That's all there is. Not much to it, is there?
Whew.
But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands
Correct.
on. I see. That's a good outlook to have. The ultimate despair, dang, they look pretty creepy. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait. There might be a chance. The password could be something that Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password, Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it? Just to be sure.
Well,
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. I'm gonna try, girl. Ain't no stopping me. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, then might just hurt Kyoko even more. Let's try
Hey.
it. If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. Come on, password. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in... Really? Dang. Open sesame. What? That did it? Kyoko! It worked!
why?
Oh my god, that just makes her angry. Because she wants to sever ties with him, right? Therefore, she doesn't even want to think about him thinking about her at all. And she even thought that her father had just completely forgotten about her. But this just proves that the father hasn't forgotten about Kyoko, right? Unless, like I mentioned, Kyoko is the mastermind and she's just kind of silly in the fact that she uses her own name as her own password. But, I don't know. Kyoko? I don't know. If she really is the mastermind, which I still think is like, you know, I am mentioning it a lot, but I still believe 95% in Kyoko, and that doubt of 5% is probably just the theory about her perhaps being the mastermind. But, like, she is a pretty dang good actress as she is, you know? Because holy freaking crap, she's so emotionless the rest of the time, and during the right time she shows the proper emotion as well. Holy fuck. Kyoko! Alright, let's get in there. What? Hey, Kyoko! I may as well not even have been into the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? What the fuck? Here, Kyoko, I wasn't here for your 18th birthday present. Wait, that's sweet 16, right? Never mind. God dang it. Well, here's your birthday present. This is gonna make up for all the last years that I've been a horrible father. Wrapped up and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. Well, let's talk with Kyoko first. She was right. It was unusual, and she couldn't stop looking at it. No, not just looking, glaring. Now, let's see what is in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check out the picture first of little Kyoko. I'd better check out the... Okay, we should check out the present first then. Because it wants us to. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why? You think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway,
Just don't scream or anything. Okay, please don't be fucking spiders. I hate spiders. Don't be spiders. Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna open it. Fuck. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside, and... What the fuck is it? What? Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What if it's the severed head of Kyoko's father? Oh, close enough. Oh shit. What was in the box? It was bones, a skull. Look. You can see there's actually a crack on the skull, meaning that whoever this person is probably died or was murdered due to a blow to the head. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined? Okay, what the fuck? Just as I thought, but the head wound is kind of an interesting thing to note, right? It might not directly correlate and be a connection with Makoto's body or death or whatever, but it has that one thing in common, right? I don't know. Just as I thought. What? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. His body? That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box. But she said his, meaning she means a specific person. My father. Oh, really? Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box. Those bones. That body. That's my father. Ay, ay, ay. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man that she's been searching for? Oh, hold on. How can you know that for sure? How do you know that that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who all planned this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in this school right now. That's true, alter ego did say that. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. Anyway, here's a hint. Oh, okay. This killing game began with 16 students and the only... Meaning that the father was already in this school, right? That's to say that the headmaster / Kyoko's father was already in the school. Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the room, or in the school. But the only ones who were alive at the start of this killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume.
In other words...
that most likely, my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Oh no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point, she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked into the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective never would do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. I mean, she has been going on about how important that is to a Kirigiri, right? So the fact that she is giving it up means it has to be for a really big and important thing for her, right? And so Makoto is just wondering, is her father enough of a reason for her to give up her pride? Or the Kirigiri pride in that sense. Hidden room present. Alright, let's check out the rest. This picture. Huh? This picture? Aw, little Kyoko. It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of the headmaster from behind? Hey, Kyoko!
Why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet there's a picture here reminding her of it. To now find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was still a little girl. Of course, who else has hair in that hair color like that? Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, but that just either means that the headmaster knew Kyoko was coming for him and he put this here to toy with her emotionally and psychologically, or the reasons why he sort of left the family. He didn't, or it doesn't necessarily have to do with his reasons, but just the fact that when he left his family, he didn't completely forget about the past, about his family, He still thought about Kyoko. He still had something that made him remember of Kyoko, and just, something to look back on, like, think back, like, dang, this is sort of what I left behind. And it might be, we don't know his motivations exactly for leaving, right? Or for splitting with his family. But it could be just as a reminder for him, like, this is why I'm doing it. If it has, for example, I have to cut ties with my family for, I don't know, it's gonna sound completely ridiculous, but let's just say my family is, I don't know, evil or something, but Kyoko is not. I don't know, no, that doesn't make sense, because then, why didn't he just rescue her? If her family is evil, but Kyoko herself is not. But you know what I mean, right? It could have part to do with his motivation for, like, his family is still, despite the fact that he had to split with his family, perhaps he was forced into splitting with them, and this is just sort of a part of his motivation, a part of his hope to try and keep going, despite of the fact that he's no longer with his family, I mean, sometimes even if you're not with your family, they're still important to you, they still mean something to you. He must have really cared about her.
Why?
What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. See, this just could also show that he did abandon her, but maybe he had good reasons to do so. Maybe he was wanted by something, and to save his entire family, he just had to get away from his family. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time, he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko! Photo of Kyoko and the headmaster. Alright, there's the drawer here. This filing cabinet seems to be the kind of place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. But I don't think Kyoko would like some stranger like me touching her dad's stuff.
Hey.
It's fine. Check whatever you want. Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top, but all I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
Well?
It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
Now,
If he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. Alright, that's the cabinet. The desk. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out. But I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission. Yeah, we're gonna get permission. Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around. Yep. Are you sure?
Because...
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... What? In case of emergency. Huh? Is this... we can open the lockers with this, I think. It's an e-handbook, right? And it has a label on it that says, in case of emergency, meaning this probably opens every single one. I'd found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
In other words...
A handbook with no limitations, given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right.
It would seem...
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? Huh? But Kyoko... I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then... I guess I'll take it. Dang. Is it really okay? Headmaster's e-handbook, alright.
Hey.
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask you a favor? Of course. A favor? What is it?
So...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this. And I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more. But...
Hey.
Could you leave? Huh?
Correct.
Just for a little while. I'd like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko! Don't worry. I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
Just a second.
To get my emotions in order. Dang, yeah, this must have been like... Because she hasn't really thought of like... She doesn't know exactly what this means, and it sort of goes against how she thought her father was this entire time, right? Because she hated her father in a sense. She spited her father for abandoning him. But like these things that are here, they could point to something entirely different than to what she has thought all of those years when her father left her. So yeah, it's definitely something to just sort of process and think about for a little while. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. See exactly. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the fact of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily, that's true. All of those years, what she went through without her father, and what her father made her think by abandoning her, it doesn't just get solved, it doesn't just go away with one simple picture that could mean that, you know? You're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway...
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then, I'll see you later. Dang. Alright. Is she really okay? Kyoko. It must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. Yeah, that was one thing I didn't find to... well, I kind of said jokingly a severed head, but this is close enough, but still. I didn't think it would be the dad's severed head, but then again, I had no idea whose severed head I thought it would be when I said it. Cause it was a joke, right? To find out what happened to the headmaster. But this could mean that there's like a, perhaps... an argument between the headmaster and the mastermind in a sense, and the mastermind was just like, yeah, no, fuck you, you're dead. There's no doubt that the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hope's Peak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the head mastermind who planned all this out. And according to Vile, late in his 30s, possible that somewhere in school right now. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means that the mastermind's true identity is one of us, one of the 16 students. 15 of us met in the main hall. Add Makuro to the mix, and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead, as far as we know. Oh god, really? Do we have to see them flash by one, all of them? God, fuck. Even Makuro. Even she is undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no! That can't be! I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. I think we're pretty much done here. This bed isn't interesting, although it looks rather comfy. It has 2 pillows. Right, we checked in that special room. Okay, so the only thing we need to get is this locker room. Let's try and check in here. I mean, there are multiple lockers to check out here. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. Right, the card reader. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar, yeah. Yep, let's give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the reader, and then, wait, try the other one! Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can. Wait, but what about that emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. I took the emergency handbook and ran that across the card reader, and beep. Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we've got inside. What? This locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life. There are multiple things here. A glass ball? This is a crystal ball. Hiro had one too when he brought... Come to what? All of those things seem like clairvoyancy stuff, right? Even though I don't know much about it, they do seem similar to the kind of stuff that Hiro had in his room when we were in his room during the... Was it the 3rd? I think it was the 3rd, third chapter. Huh? A crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. Oh. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw, but the moment I looked inside, okay, this is definitely Heroes. Any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. Yasuhiro. Fuck! What the fuck does this mean? Oh, it has to be related. Remember those pictures? What if, for some fucking reason, we actually lived a normal school life here, right? Like all of those pictures suggested. Remember, I think we found 2 or 3. I think it was 2 pictures. We found 2 of those pictures, yeah, of one with like the people that died. We saw one with Mondo. What was the other one? Leon and Chihiro together. Like just the normal picture, like normal school, like they were actually here at the school just having fun, classmates, blah blah blah. Yeah, we're at school, living the school life. And then the other picture of Celeste, was it Celeste and Hifumi and Taka? I don't know, but definitely one of the students that were dead. Like, oh, this really seems to point that at some point before, what if we were just actually part of this school, yeah? Before the tragedy and everything, but for some reason we don't know about it. I mean, why else would there be hints like this, unless they're trying to mindfuck with us? But what? There was no denying what I saw. In the notebook, or inside the notebook, was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes, which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to the school at the same time as the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had a chance to take any classes. So, what is this notebook? What the fuck is it indeed? There was one thing at the bottom still, right? Or not? 3 things. Oh, this. Is this a deck of playing cards? Tarot cards? Yep, they're tarot cards. But wait, aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? Oh my god, really? This is Hiro's locker for sure. Or someone that's really similar to Hiro. No, it is Hiro. I took the emergency handbook and ran that across the card reader. And let's go, second locker. I don't see anything that might be a clue. Right, that one is not useful. 3 more here. It looks like the locker opened. What do we have in here? This is particularly empty. There's one thing though. There's just one thing. Some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. It looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote them must have been really meticulous. Huh? What if this is Kyoko's detective handbook? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there. Words that I'd heard before. Oh god, what is it? There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. It is Kyoko. Oh my fuck, what? He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our students' prodigies safe. To keep them as our hope for the future. So that is all us, right? We are those supposedly student prodigies. We are the ones that kept saying, what if we were just part of the school before we had no idea of it, right? And then the fucking tragedy happens and we are the ones that were spared or saved in this situation because we are the prodigies. Because we are seen as the hope for the future, right? Because we are the ultimates in our fields. Only the genius can overcome disaster. And only their hope can overcome despair. And this is just a test for us to overcome despair. Because we represent hope. This entire situation represents despair in a sense, and the situation wants hope to be crumbled by despair. And he says only their genius can overcome disaster. So their genius, our genius, trying to solve this mystery of the school, is our way that hope triumphs despair, right? For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. But this is the part that I really struggle with, like the fact that it's broadcasted around the world, and now it says that the future not only of the country but that of the world. Like for us, it feels like we're isolated in this tiny school, right? But the fact that it seems to have an impact on the entire fucking world. What if just in the group mastermind, I don't know how they have such a power, but what if they just threaten to blow up the entire fucking world, yeah? To just kill everyone and just like, yeah, fuck this world, we're gonna take over or something, and we just wanna get rid of every people, it's just gonna be us 5 and we're gonna start a new world order. And all the hope of humanity, of the entire world, lies on us, on us 6 people that are left right now, the 6 students, and yeah, we basically have to save mankind by letting hope triumph despair. That's what it seems like to me right now. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was. And now I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. And that's the weird thing, right? Like it seems but that's sort of about everything and everyone here, that it seems that we have been here, that we actually were part of the school at some point. Either in another dimension, or I don't know why I'm bringing up dimensions or realities into this, because I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't think that's the case. It's more of a case that we just, I don't know, we either forgot or they made us forget about our past at this school. She said she hadn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly, so happened, yep. So that seems to say that she did see him, so that contradicts that indeed. What does this all mean? What if this is all supposedly a game in a sense, right? Like, yeah, it is a game that has a lot of shit at stake, but for us to find out, they obviously had to either erase part of our memories or alter part of our memories. Because if we had known these facts, then it's easier to solve the mystery, you know? So they didn't want us to know this, at least not from the beginning. God dang it, I don't know exactly. I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question marks spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Despair walks among us, and so we survive. What was it? What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? There's a second despair. Oh, what? Oh god. Is there anything else? Nope. Let's check the other in the locker room. The more I see, the more it makes sense, because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the locker that looks like they belong to the people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro. And a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe in everyone. The next locker. Nope, nothing in that one. Alright, the other one. Nothing in there either. That means only this one left, I think. Nothing else either. These were all unable to be opened, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Right. 1, 2, 3. We already checked over. We checked that. That was nothing. This was Hiro's. This was Kyoko's. Nothing else. Oh, it seems we're done in this room. Let's check where else we need to go. Truth bullets. Places to check. Headmaster's room. We went there. 5th floor biolab. Oh no, we didn't go to the. We went. This is the 2nd floor dorms. Yes, we went that. We can check that one off. Let's go to the 4th floor first, I guess. 4th floor has the data center and the headmaster's room. Alright, let's go data lab first. The Monokuma room. This room still creeps me out.
Hey, Makoto!
Makoto! Are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? Yeah. I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door.
Yeah!
So I figured, if all the doors in the school have been unlocked, that one should be open too, right?
But...
Although, I couldn't bring myself to open it. Cause it might explode, right? And that'd really suck. So... you open it. Yeah, it's fine if I explode, right, Hina? Thanks. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Thanks, Hina. Thank you very much. Alright, let's go. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay. Go ahead. Everything will be okay. Right? Alright. Here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. What the fuck? This is like a pilot room. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was...
Huh?
Wow. This place is totally sci-fi! Yeah, I was kinda thinking the same thing. Fuck.
What the heck?
I mean, every part of this school leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But...
just a second!
this place is like #1 gross! It's a whole different league of creepy! What else is in here? 2 things in particular. There's a hatch? There's some kind of hatch on the floor. Right now, I'm more concerned with the weird device, so I will check it out first then. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top though. Like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah. It kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Hifumi would probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpits? So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
okay.
Alright, let's start poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel.
Huh?
Uh-oh. Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? That sound is of a sound of Monokuma appearing. Did she spawn like another Monokuma? I'm not totally sure, but I think that was it was that one. The button that says Data Center. Data Center? Ah. I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the Data Center... that's right next door. The room we were just in. That's where the strange noise came from. I'd probably better go check it out.
Yeah!
Yes, please. I'm kinda scared out of my mind right now. So I'll just cheer you on from over here. Being as useful as always, Hina. Thank you. That's definitely the sound of Monokuma appearing. Like, did I just hear what I think I heard? Yep. Is that Monokuma? So is that how the mastermind spawns Monokumas? He just sort of sees like, okay, well, there, something is going on in this room. All right, I'll spawn a Monokuma in the data center. Bam! He presses that button, and a Monokuma appears there. He's being silent though. What the fuck? It's actually weird. Hey! Arr! Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina?
What?
What? Oh man, busted! How did you know?
Say what?
Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera setup? You don't even know what you're controlling?
Hello.
Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here. So, Monokuma is definitely a robot that's being controlled by the person inside of the control room. So the cockpit thingy is to control Monokuma. That's why it makes sense that there's Monokuma on the door as well, to sort of show like, yeah, this is the Monokuma cockpit room. So Hina is now controlling this Monokuma. Then who was controlling all the Monokumas before? Because that person must have been in this room. Because this makes it seem like Monokuma himself doesn't have... It's just an empty shell, you know? It's just something that someone controls. It's not... Monokuma isn't anything himself. It seems that way, right? At least that much we can tell from this particular Monokuma. It could be that these are all knockoff Monokumas, they're all fake, and there's one real one that has an own conscious, own will. He can do whatever he wants himself, you know, rather than being controlled.
Found it!
Ah, guess what I found? The self-destruct button! Whatever you do, don't push it!
Too bad!
Aw, man. Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it, and a control panel inside. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, let's go back.
Ah!
Whoa! Hey, Makoto! What the heck was that just now? Monokuma.
Huh?
What do you mean? What you were controlling just now, it was Monokuma.
Huh?
Monokuma?
Oh!
What? For real? Yep. It looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. So that means that, you know, remember when we were at the data lab the very first time? That actually means the mastermind was in this freaking room. I mean, it was locked back then, but just to think that we were this close to the mastermind. Damn. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey,
maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. That makes sense. And the mastermind is just in a data lab, looking around like, okay, what's going on? Where do I need... And if he feels the need to spawn a Monokuma, he goes to the Monokuma room, and then, you know, in that room he can't see the monitors anymore. So he spawns a Monokuma there, and then, you know, does his thing with Monokuma. Therefore, that makes sense. Kyoko's theory about that was right, that he can't both monitor on us and control Monokuma at the same time. Kyoko's theory was right.
But...
if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, That means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... That could go either way. That means that yes, it could mean that one of the students is the mastermind, or the mastermind was here before all the students actually even were here. And the mastermind, Monokuma's puppeteer, really is the 16th student? No, it can't be. There's no way, right? Did he say the 16th student or one of the 16 students? Because the 16th student was Makuro, but Makuro is dead. So if the mastermind then, if Makuro is the mastermind, then there should technically be no one controlling Monokuma anymore. Which means, how did all those other Monokumas spawn after Makuro's death? My Monokuma control room. What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. Aww. What about you? Is everything okay? Oh, well, it's just... This is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up a trap or something? I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it isn't a truth. You wanna leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. Okay, you wanna get going? Yeah. I need to check the hatch first. What's wrong, Makoto? Let's hurry up and get out of here. Really? The hatch is not important at all? I guess so then. What the heck is that click? As soon as the door to the data center closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? At the door! It just locked on its own! Oh no. What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. What? I thought it was supposed to be open at all times. You're right. It's locked. But why? Of course it's locked! Because the data center is now restricted. Mono, what? Oh. Okay. The mastermind was hiding underneath the hatch, right? It has to be that. And the moment the mastermind realized, okay, people have checked out this room, I've given them a fair chance to try and figure out what's going on with this room. And then when we left, he's just like, okay, fuck it, nobody's going on in here. And then he takes, that means that he locks this, therefore he can control Monokuma again, and that's why Monokuma now appears. Because the mastermind was hiding in the hatch and has now come out and is in the, yeah, basically back in the Monokuma control room to control Monokuma.
Just a second.
Hey, no fair! You can't just go around restricting whatever you like!
Hey,
It's for your benefit! Just if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around! Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just stopped and stopped moving! And that room...
Yep.
As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are! So, right now, you're being operated by someone in that room?
Yes, indeed.
Correctamundo!
You're a liar.
But that doesn't make any sense! We were just in there. We didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? I wanted to be that thorough, but it never gave me the chance to check out the freaking hatch. Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? I did. No way. The hatch on the floor? Too bad. That was your one big chance, and you blew it. Damn it.
Too bad.
Of course that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. Peace out, Monokuma. He's gone. But
So,
was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
huh?
Then, when I said we should leave, well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Oh, Hina.
Okay.
I'm gonna go run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice. You've got me all motivated again.
You got it.
Okay, I'm out. See you later. Hina took off at a full sprint. And I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Alright, let's check out this room. This was the master... Wait, this is the music. It's not here. It is going to be right here, the headmaster room. Holy freaking crap, this is the headmaster's room? I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Makoto, it's you. Oh, Byakuya. Oh my god, this looks like a presidential suite or something. Holy shit. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? Of course. What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class number 78 student roster. Oh, let me guess, our names are in there. Class number 78? Student registry? It contains profiles for all of us. And Makuro.
So in other words...
Apparently, Class 78 refers to us. That either means, you know, I feel like it points towards the fact that we were, like, you know, to those pictures, to those, to the lockers, the fact that there's proof that we were here before or something, or that we were part of this school, that we attended this school as students before, or that this is the 78th time that they pulled off this fucking game, although I highly doubt it, of course. I don't think that's it. Wait. When we found Makuro's profile in Kyoko's room.
I see.
That's right. It also mentioned class number 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers,
In other words...
there can be no doubt. Makuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Makuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled. She must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? But why is there... He said the... Did he say including Makuro? He said including Makuro, right? But why would there be two profiles of Makuro? And one that Kyoko took and another one in the book? Unless there are two of each, I don't know. She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. Okay, that makes sense too. The first page? Correct. Makuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So in other words...
When it comes to this profile, there was more information about Makuro that we still didn't have. Bam! Information! What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, and I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the reports. Makuro, wow, look at her. Makuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background, an entity floats. Close, but just out of reach. An entity floats? What, aliens? The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. What? Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group, but it said entity. Entity means like, it's like, I don't know, a fancy word for a thing, right? So it can either be something like an object, a living being, it can be like, it's a really sort of vague word, this entity. It can be a lot of different things. Whatever it is, Makuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Makuro's behavior too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir, when she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That just means she must have been really fucking good. Or something else, of course. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. So the headmaster, like, see, he seems to like really have a connection to his students. It's not just like, random people that he brings over and now let's just call them students. He actually feels like, a connection, like, these are my students, they're my responsibility. I feel like I need to take care of them in a sense, Therefore, he was actually properly doing his job, and beyond that, as a headmaster, I'd say. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Makuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair. I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean that Makuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why? Why would they kill Makuro? Maybe this wasn't part of the plan, or the plan changed? Or it was part of the plan all along, I don't know. Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Makuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means that the Mastermind is even stronger than Makuro was. The way that it seems is that if the entity known as the Ultimate Despair was floating over or near Makuro, I would probably think that that entity was sort of like, not necessarily controlling, but like, like it shows that it's stronger than Makuro in a sense, if that makes sense. I don't fucking know. What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within the file that you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl, perhaps you've never seen before. Oh, that's the first thing I noticed. Yep, Kuro Ikusawa. A girl who seems to be included as part of our class, number 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. Huh? And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5'7", 97 pounds, and it even lists her vitals, 31, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? You're trying to say that those descriptions and pictures are supposed to look like someone that we know? If it is, and if it does, the closest one that would come, the person that comes the closest to us would probably be Kyoko, right? I guess? I think? What do I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body?
Stop talking.
You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is, maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse, and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean... Wait, Is he trying to say there's a chance the body isn't actually Makuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but impossible. But it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right? What I'm thinking seems to be all but impossible.
It's all clear now.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. Dang, Makuro's profile. Right. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. Right, give it to me. Advice? From me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. Here we go, here we go. He's probably having similar doubts about Kyoko that that a small, tiny part of me is having as well. It's not that we're getting along. She's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh?
In other words,
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch? But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it. Or don't. As you will. I'll keep it in mind. Thanks. Oh, Byakuya doesn't seem to trust Kyoko either. Dang it. Well, what is there to investigate? Several other things. Pieces of paper on the floor. There are documents scattered all over the floor. Somehow it makes me feel anxious. Samurai sword, one that we have in our room as well. There are trophies, and even a shield in the display case. Nothing else of interest? This cabinet, the bookshelf. The bookshelf seems to be really well made, and it's filled with files and thick books. Okay, nothing is really interesting except this. Class number 78. Student registry. Apparently, that's us. It has profiles on me, and everyone I met at the beginning, and Makuro. Just like us, Makuro was apparently a new student here at Hope's Peak. Makuro Ikusawa, part of the ultimate despair, which means her and the mastermind should have been allies. But then, why would the mastermind kill her? Weren't they friends? Is that really it? Is that all there is to this place? I'm guessing.